Ready.
Ready? Right. March 10th.
Oh, 10th, okay.
Yes.
March 10th.
All right.
Testing. Anybody hear me? Testing. Testing.
Now, Ella, just to give you a thumbs up, a heads up, the sound machine that got a new battery fails to operate the gunshot. So we're gonna just make a sound effect of a gunshot, okay? So basically just go, pew. Oh, Michael, you did a good gunshot. What was your gunshot? Pew, pew, pew.
Oh.
Yeah, that's works. Hey, listen, you know, it can be anything we want it to be. All righty, start. Oh, I got it. Oh.
Testing. Can anybody hear me? Testing.
Testing.
My microphone broke all of a sudden.
No?
No, it did earlier. It broke all of a sudden.
Oh,
Testing.
okay. Yeah, I can hear Charlie.
Testing.
Okay.
Testing. Okay. Testing. We're on. Okay. All right. Testing. Okay.
Testing.
As for our finale, we are going to be doing a radio drama all the way from 1942, February 10th, 1942, Adventures of the Thin Man, episode, Valentine's Day episode.
Woodbury presents The Adventures of the Thin Man. Woof! There's Aspen's happy bark, the signal of another adventure of the Thin Man. Brought to you each week at this time by Woodbury Face Powder and the Woodbury Cold Cream. Those twin aids to the loveliness of your skin. Woof!
Nikki,
Yes, dear.
do you know what Saturday the 14th is?
The day after Friday the 13th?
Nick, Charles, you've got about as much romance in your soul as a clam.
On the half shell?
No, steamed.
All right, dear. I'll bite. What plays on Saturday the 14th?
Well, maybe this little poem will refresh your memory. Because you're charming, beautiful whack, with oodles of dough, which is no drawback. Because in you alone I find the best points of the following women combined. Venus de Milo, Helen of Troy, Scarlett O'Hara, Myrna of Loy, the Queen of Sheba, Madame du Barry, and Osa Johnson on a safari. But wise as you are, can you figure out this is a proposal? Darling, will you be my missus?
Oh, that's awful.
You ought to know, dear.
Huh?
You wrote it.
Me?
Yes, on St. Valentine's Day, not so long ago.
Darling, a worse piece of slander I never heard, but say, come to think of it, it wasn't half bad.
Did you hear that, Asta?
Rough! Don't be beautiful. I'll be back in a jiffy. Just a second. Yes?
You Nick Charles?
That's right.
My name's Stuart.
Yes?
I got a little Valentine for you. It's from Bill Carroll.
Bill Carroll?
Yeah, you ought to remember, Mrs. Charles. Your husband sent him up for murder.
What does Carol want?
Well, first of all, he doesn't like the big house.
That's a shame. I suppose he finds it confining.
A little, so I want you to know he's going to be moving out one of these days, and he'll be paying you a little visit.
Does he have to?
Well, the boss is like this. He always pays his debts, and he figures he owed you plenty, if you know what I mean.
Get out.
Take it easy, Charles.
Go on. Get out.
Okay, that's the way you feel. Happy Valentine's Day, folks.
Nick, what did he mean?
Nothing, dear. He was just bluffing.
I don't think he was.
Now, beautiful. You know better. This isn't the first mesh note we've ever received from a crook.
But Carroll's no ordinary crook. You once told me he was the smartest criminal you ever knew.
And look at what it got him. A one-way ticket to the chair.
But if he breaks out?
Darling, the name is Carol, not Houdini. You know it's impossible to break out of state penitentiary.
Yes, dear, but what worries me is, does Mr. Carroll know it?
All right, Mr. Carroll, here's your visitor. He can have 5 minutes.
Hello, boss. How are you?
Fine, sit down, Stuart.
Thanks.
I trust you took care of that little matter.
If you mean to see Nick Charles and Sproul, the answer is yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, it was an awful waste of time if you ask me.
I wasn't aware that I asked you, Stuart.
Now, don't get me wrong, boss. It just means Charles knew you were bluffing all along.
He did?
Yeah.
And Mrs. Charles?
Well, if it's consolation, she swallowed the whole line.
Wonderful, wonderful. So the lovely Nora didn't think I was bluffing.
Well, of course. I put on a good act for her.
Stuart, you're priceless.
What do you mean?
You poor fool. Can't you get it through that void you call a brain that I have no intention of donating my body to her electrical research? True, it's not a very handsome body, Stuart, but then it's the only one I have, and naturally I've grown quite fond.
Then what I told Nick Charles was the truth all along.
Comes the dawn.
But it can't be done, boss. How you gonna bust out?
Oh, the details are quite sordid. Money, you know.
You mean bribe one of the guards?
2 to be exact.
Suppose they get caught.
Impossible. Hasn't it ever occurred to you, my boy, that both of us have a similar physical appearance?
All right, so we're both built alike, so what?
Well, for the sake of argument, suppose you are visiting me.
Like I am now.
Yes, like you are now. And at the conclusion of our little chat, the prison lights were to fail. Accidentally, of course.
Of course.
And in the resulting confusion, the guard makes an understandable mistake. He takes you for me.
And then what happens?
Well, naturally, while the poor chap is so confused, it would be a simple trick to disarm him. Certainly no one would think he was negligent.
It's too bad, Carol. I don't like it.
I'm afraid that doesn't alter the situation any, Stuart. Its simplicity is what appeals to me.
Well, if you're satisfied.
I'm perfectly.
Okay, when did this break come off?
Right now.
Right now? Are you kidding?
Stuart, I wish you could see the expression on your face. It's delightful.
Why don't you give me a little time so I can round up a couple of the boys and, you know.
And that's exactly what I don't want. Too many actors often spoil the play. They get in the way of the leading man. What time is it?
10 after 7.
Then I think it's high time the curtain went up on the little drama. Stuart, yours is the privilege of reading the opening lines. I want you to rattle out on the cell door and demand that the guard let you out.
I don't get it.
Do as you're told.
Okay. Hey, let me out of here.
A little more impatience in your voice, Stuart.
Come on, let me out.
Hold your horses, mister. I'm coming.
Well, hurry up. I ain't got all day.
Guard.
Take it easy, buddy.
Excellent.
Everything's set, Mr. Carroll. When Joe sees me open the cell door, he's going to short the fuse.
You can depend on us, Walter. We shall give a portrayal worthy of an Academy Award.
Come on, let me out of this rat trap.
Make it look good, Carroll. I don't want to lose my job.
You can depend on us, Walter. we shall give a portrayal worthy of an Academy Award.
Okay, here goes. Now, mister, you.
Hey, what happened to the lights?
Turn them on.
Turn them on.
All right, Carol. Here's my gun.
Ah, thank you.
You better hit me once to make it look real.
I'll do better than that, Walter.
Hey, boss, what's the idea of plugging him?
What's this drama like, Stuart? Was a touch of realism, and there's nothing that helps it as much as a corpse.
Before we continue with tonight's adventure of the Thin Man, a word from Miss Janet Parker, Woodbury Beauty Consultant.
Yesterday, I attended a fashion showing in New York. Girls, the colors for spring are simply stunning. Limpid blues, rich tobacco browns, and brilliant cerise reds. Now, isn't it true that the right color dress can make you feel young and desirable? That's equally true of the right shade of face powder. But you say, what is the right shade of powder for me? Just listen. Woodbury powder, color controlled for flattery, is styled in shades to glorify each of the 5 skin types. In every box is a chart which tells you your exact type and your most glamorous shade. Now with economy, the keynote today, it's too costly to make mistakes in the choice of your powder shade. That's why it pays in savings and the lovelier look of your complexion to get Woodbury color-controlled powder in your true type shade. Do try it.
Woodbury powder is only 50 cents. Introductory sizes 25 cents and 10 cents. And now in the big economy $1 box of Woodbury powder, you get matching rouge and lipstick too. Get yours tonight. And now back to the adventures of the Thin Man.
Nikki, it's the front door again. One of us should answer it.
You.
No, dear, you're the master of the house. Go on.
All right. But it's times like this that make me wonder if I was smart to give up on Bachelor. Coming. Coming.
Hello, Nick.
Carol.
Surprised to see me?
A little.
Nick, it isn't.
I'm afraid it is, Mrs. Charles. The bad penny, you know. Always turning up. May I come in?
With that gunzel flanking you, it wouldn't do much good to say no, would it?
Well, they say, Nick, there's no percentage in arguing with a gun.
The last we heard, you were in jail.
What's the expression? Stone walls do not a prison make, nor iron bars a cage?
How many guards did you have to kill to prove that?
Just one, but he was a mercenary fellow. Oh no, Nick, I wouldn't move any closer to that desk. I'll take your word for it. It would that you've got a gun there.
I'd like to show it to you.
I'd be a mistake, Stuart. Here is an excellent shot.
Say, boss, how about throwing the gap?
He's got something there, Carol. With the heat on, the cops ought to be swarming over this place in a few minutes.
Nick, I don't think you have the faintest idea why I came here.
I can guess.
He's marvelous. Well, suppose he gives us a demonstration. Why did I come here, Nick?
Listen, Carol, if you think I'm gonna crawl,
Oh, my dear fella, you misjudge me. I haven't the slightest intention of shooting you.
no.
No, I've got a much better idea. I gave it a great deal of thought.
You needn't have bothered.
It was a pleasure, I assure you. Why, many an enjoyable night I spent thinking of the best way to repay Nick for his many kind favors.
And you decided?
To the point, Nick? Well, I decided the best way to make you suffer is to separate you from your most precious possession.
You mean money?
Mrs. Charles, you underestimate yourself.
Nick?
Easy, beautiful. Carol, you wouldn't dare try it.
Stuart, will you get Mrs. Charles' coat?
Take your hands off her, Carol.
Put down that chair, Nick.
Nick, please, I'll be all right.
I warn you, Charles. You're making a very stupid and childish gesture. Put down that chair and stay where you are.
Nick, don't.
Look out, boss.
Take it easy, Nick. The doc ought to be here any minute.
What happened?
Just stopped a slug in your shoulder.
I thought that... Guffey, what are you doing here?
I decided to pay a little call after headquarters got a flash that Carol busted out. I kind of figured you'd be heading this way.
Where's Nora?
Huh?
Where's Nora?
Couldn't say for sure. She wasn't here. Well, now, Nick, don't you think you ought to lay down?
Let me out.
Take it easy, pal. You got a bullet in you.
Let me out.
Now, Nick, you don't want to carry on this way. We'll find Nora. Just give us a little. Nick, don't be a fool. Give me that gun.
Get out of my way, Guffey.
You're letting yourself in for a mess of trouble.
I said, get out of my way.
Oh, for Pete's sake, man. Have you gone crazy? You don't know what you're doing. Nick, where are you going?
On a little exterminating job. I'm going out to kill a rat.
Here's Louis, Mr. Charles.
Thanks, Eddie.
Will there be anything else?
No, just shut that door behind you.
I got you.
Well, Louis, long time no see. Sit down. Watch that shoulder.
Gee, I'm sorry.
Skip it.
Nick, you shouldn't have said for me. Could have got the bullies the wrong ideas.
Don't fool yourself, Louis. Every hood in town knows you're a steward.
No more, Nick. I quit.
Cut it out. I'm in no mood for comedy. Start singing for your supper.
I swear I don't know a thing.
You're lying.
Honest saying, I ain't got a single idea what Carol's saying now.
How did you know I was hunting for Carol?
You said so.
I did not. Come again?
Well, it's all over town. Everybody knows. You've been in a dozen places looking for him.
Where is he?
I give you my word, Nick. You don't... quit it, Nick. You're choking me.
Are you going to talk? You must have a couple of ideas.
All right, let me go. Gee, Nick, what do you want to harm me?
Come on, Pigeon. Spill it.
Have you tried Bunny's place?
What happens there?
There's a running card game in the back. Big chip stuff, no pikers.
Go on.
I used to sit in the game every once in a while.
Is this on the level?
I swear it is. You might even run into some of his boys there. That's where they hang out.
Heaven help you if you're lying.
Honest, I ain't, Nick. But you won't watch yourself. They're a tough bunch. They play for keeps.
Good. That's just the kind of game I'm looking for. Hello, boys.
Be it, pal, you're in the wrong pew.
I don't think so. I'm looking for Bill Carroll.
Well, you won't find him here. He's in stir.
You busted out, or haven't you heard?
I don't hear what I'm supposed to, mister. That's something you could learn.
Let's get on with the game. Throw him out, Bunny.
I wouldn't try it. This gun isn't loaded with blanks. Now I want some information, and the quicker I get it, the sooner. Go on, answer it.
Me?
Yes, and no crack if it's Carol or one of his boys.
Hello?
Hello, Bunny.
Yeah,
This is Stuart.
I'm listening.
Is there a party there looking for the boss?
That's right.
Let me talk to him.
What?
It's all right. Put him on.
Okay. I guess you know what you're doing. It's for you, chum.
Hello?
Hello, Charles.
Who is this? Stewart?
Don't ask so many questions. Go on home.
Listen, Stewart, I'm not leaving until...
I said go home. You'll find your wife there.
What?
You heard me. She left here 10 minutes ago.
Nora, darling,
Nick, are you alright?
am I all right?
I saw Carol shoot you. I didn't know what.
It was just a scratch, dear. I forgot all about it, honest, I did. No, darling, you mustn't cry. What'll Ash to think?
You big lud. I thought I'd never see you again.
That was just wishful thinking, sweetheart. Here, let me look at you.
Have it changed much?
Hardly any. Has she asked him?
Well, maybe that's because I was only gone 3 hours.
You're kidding. It was 3 years.
No,
Well, maybe I'm thinking of how much I aged during that time.
you poor darling.
Say, how come Carol changed his mind?
Don't tell me you're sorry.
Not very. But I just can't understand why he did it.
Neither can I, dear. All I know is
Excuse me, honey. Come in.
Hello, Nick.
Why, it's Guffy.
Yeah, it's me.
Guffy, look. Nora's back.
So I see.
what's the matter, Sergeant? You don't seem very pleased.
Oh, I'm tickled to death. When did you get here?
About a half hour ago.
What about you, Nick?
Just a few minutes before you did.
I don't get it. First, Carol shoots you and kidnaps Nora, and now you're back together again, all in a couple of hours. How do you figure it?
I don't. I just count my blessings and give thanks.
Well, it's an interesting problem. What's your guess, Nora?
I don't think there's a logical answer, Sergeant.
There must be. All we have to do is find the right combination. Where did they keep you, Nora?
Some apartment on the west side.
How'd you know it was the west side?
Why,
Wait a minute, dear. Guffy, is this your idea of the third degree?
Third degree? You're a little touchy tonight, aren't you, pal? Go on, Nora.
well, I knew it was the west side because I could see the Hudson River.
Keep you in a locked room?
Uh-huh, for almost 2 hours. Then something funny happened.
What do you call funny?
Maybe I should have said peculiar. I heard Carol and Stuart quarreling in the next room, and about a half hour later, Stuart unlocked my door. He told me that Carol had changed his mind and that I could go home. Huh, fantastic, isn't it?
Took the words right out of my mouth.
What do you mean, Guffy?
Well, Nora called it herself. The story ain't kosher.
What difference does it make? The important thing is that she's back.
Yeah, well, that's one way to look at it. Where were you during all this time?
Around.
Just around,
That's right.
Last time I saw you, you were carrying a heater. Mind if I look at it?
What for?
Just humor me, pal. Put it down to an old man's whim.
That's funny. I had it in my coat pocket, I know. It must have dropped out when I hopped into the cab.
It's too bad. You're generally not that careless, Nick.
Look, Guffy, you don't have to play Dick Tracy for us. What's behind the routine?
Nick, I pleaded with you to play ball. I told you if you gave us half a chance, we'd find Nora and you. Oh, but would you listen? No, you couldn't wait.
Do you blame me?
No, but I do blame you for taking the law into your own hands.
Darling, what's he trying to say?
Don't ask me.
It's no use, Nick. You found Carol's body.
You what?
You found his body. He was murdered.
Murdered?
Yeah. Nick, I hope you cooked yourself up a decent alibi, because, brother, you're gonna need it. Before we find find out if Nick has an alibi, Miss Janet Parker, Woodbury's beauty consultant, would like to say a few words that every woman will want to hear. Miss Parker.
When I walk down the street, I often play a little game. I look at the complexions of the women I pass and mentally grade them as poor, fair, or beautiful. Now, if you could see the loveliest stars of Hollywood close up, you'd grade their complexions beautiful with a capital B. Girls like Iona Massey, Rita Hayworth, Paulette Goddard, and others. Now, does it take a movie star's salary to have a gorgeous complexion? No, it doesn't. Because these stars use the same beauty cream that you can buy at any toilet goods counter. I mean Woodbury Cold Cream. Here's the beauty nightcap of the stars. First, a quick cleansing with Woodbury Cold Cream, then a light, fresh film of this luscious cream for overnight softening. 2 simple steps, that's all. You see, special oils in Woodbury Cold Cream help soften dry skin, help smooth tiny lines which dryness causes. And Woodbury Cold Cream contains an exclusive ingredient which constantly acts to purify this cream right in the jar. Regardless of cost, there is no finer cream than Woodbury Cold Cream. Why not prove this to yourself tonight?
For economy, get Woodbury Cold Cream in the big jar at $1.25. Generous jars at 50 cents and 75 cents. Introductory sizes at 10 cents and 25 cents. And now, back to the adventures of the Thin Man. It's an hour later, and we find Nick and Nora with Sergeant Guffey down at the city morgue. No, Nick, that was a mistake. You never should have killed Carol.
But Guffy, Nick didn't, just because he has an alibi is no...
Never mind, sweetheart. Have you ever known Guffy to be wrong? If he says I killed Carol, then I did. Well, Guffy, how about trotting out your corpse now that I've confessed?
You're a very comical fellow, Nick. Okay, we'll see if you can get a laugh out of this.
Don't look beautiful.
He ain't a very pretty sight, is he?
No. Would you mind telling me what was used on him?
Now, Nicky, who are you trying to kid? You didn't forget that fast.
My memory's bad.
You used sulfuric acid.
Sulfuric acid? You mean I poisoned him with it?
No, that's how you mutilated his body.
Why do you suppose I did that?
To prevent us from identifying him and tying his murder to you.
Well, apparently it wasn't very successful. Where did I slip? On the fingerprints?
No, the acid took care of that. Left the cleanest mark in his coat. That's the way we traced him.
Kind of stupid of me to miss it.
Couldn't help it. It was in the sleeve lining. We had to go to pot to find it.
As long as you're being cooperative, Guffy, riddle me this. If I didn't kill him with the acid, what did I use?
All right, wise guy. Wait till I open his shirt. There.
Oh, I shot him, huh?
Right through the heart.
Carol never had a heart.
Nick, Charles, I've stood as much of this as I can. How long are you and Guffy going to continue this farce?
It's no farce, Nora. Nick thinks it's funny. He's got a screwy sense of humor.
But you can't believe Nick killed him.
No? Well, who did that?
Well, it could have been any one of Stuart.
What?
Uh-huh, Stuart killed him.
Huh. Now, wait a minute, beautiful.
Nick, I'm positive he did. I heard him arguing with Carol. And wouldn't that explain why he released me?
Yeah, but it wouldn't explain why he mutilated the body.
That's obvious. It would give him more time to get out of town before Carol was identified. Why don't you have your men pick him up?
Where do you think they are now? Watching all the railroads, bus lines, airports,
What about the steamship lines?
steamship lines? Well, and that'll make you feel better. I'll check with them first thing in the morning.
That'd be way too late. Wouldn't it stand to reason that Stuart will sail on the first boat available?
What about that, Guppy?
Well, just so you won't squawk later that we didn't give you the brakes, I'll call the customs office right now. This is an awful waste of taxpayers' money.
Customs, Michael speaking.
Oh, Rich, this is Guppy of the Homicide Bureau.
How are you, Guppy?
I'm fine. Say, Mitch, I was wondering if you'd settle a bet for me. Any boats leaving tonight for foreign ports?
Nope.
You sure of that?
Positive. No liners leave until next Saturday.
No, thanks, Mitch. That's all I...
Hold it, Guppy. Ask him about private boats.
Some people are never satisfied. Say, Mitch, how about private boats? Nothing there either, I suppose.
No, you lose, Guppy.
What?
Yeah, we just cleared a private job sailing for Havana in the morning. She's called the Driftwood. She was chartered by a Mr. Stewart. Nick, I don't think Stewart's here. No one tried to stop us from coming aboard.
Baby, you can see that. And you say that again.
Let's try the cabin.
Can't you see no one's inside? There's no light.
Guppy, sometimes your powers of deduction amaze me.
Okay, wise guy. We'll try the cabin. Then it's back to the cell for you.
Fair enough.
No tricks, pal. You first.
All right.
Turn on the lights.
Allow me, sir.
Huh? Hey, this ain't Stuart.
You're right.
Gee, I'm sorry, mister. I didn't mean to. Holy smoke! It's Carol.
No, it can't be.
While you're making up your collective minds, I'll trouble you for your gun, Sergeant. Thank you.
But we saw your body.
It's delightful. In that case, you're disturbing the dead. Isn't that a penal offense, Nick?
I don't get it. If this guy's Carol, who's the stiff in the morgue?
Stewart,
Stuart?
of course.
The next thing you'll be saying, Nick, is that you knew it all along.
I did.
You're second guessing, my boy. You're as surprised as they are.
Not quite. I'll reconstruct it for you.
Please do.
Carol, you were hot, very hot, and you knew the police would go on searching for you until they caught you, or they were satisfied you were dead.
Go on.
So you hit on the fantastic plan of murdering yourself. There was only one trouble. You had to supply the police with a corpse. But that was easily remedied. Stuart was approximately your size, and he was convenient, so you killed him.
That's marvelous.
And just as you figured, I was accused of your murder. Heaven knows I had plenty of motive after you kidnapped Nora.
Did you like that touch? It was my idea of poetic justice.
Unfortunately, it boomeranged. When I saw the body in the morgue, I knew it wasn't you.
Why not? All the clothes were mine.
That's why it didn't add up, Guppy. Remember, when you showed me the wound on the corpse, you had to open his shirt.
Yeah,
Well, why wasn't there a bullet hole in the shirt? There should have been one.
that's right.
There's only one thing that would explain it. The clothes didn't belong to the corpse, and if the clothes were Carol's, then the body wasn't.
A beautiful piece of logic, Nick.
Thanks. And that wasn't a bad plan of yours either. A pity we had to spoil it.
At this moment, I find it very easy to forgive you.
That's mighty good of you.
Not at all, my boy. After all, no harm's been done. I'm sure my little secret will be safe with you and the fishes.
What fishes?
Nick, I'm afraid your friend is a trifle on the dull side, you see. Sergeant, since you three are the only three, where's Nora?
Right behind you, Mr. Carroll.
Hey, she really calmed him.
Nora, darling, how did you get there?
It was simple, dear. While you and Mr. Carroll were conducting your Mutual Admiration Society, naturally you both had eyes for no one else. So I edged up behind him and let him have it with my little belaying pin.
The laying pin? Where did you find that?
On deck, I picked it up as a little gift for Sergeant Guffey.
What's that?
Well, in case we didn't find our murderer here, you would have insisted on dragging Nick off to jail.
I guess you're right. I wouldn't have listened to reason no matter how much I argued. But what's that got to do with this belaying pin?
Well, I figured this was the one argument that was bound to make a deep impression on you.
Quick reminder to every woman tonight to get a jar of Woodbury Gold Cream, the cream that will help give you, like the loveliest stars in Hollywood, a smoother, more glamorous complexion. And for the most thrilling face powder you've ever tried, ask for the new Woodbury face powder. And now, ladies and gentlemen, have a pleasant evening.
Good job.
All right, everybody up.
Thank you. I hear that.
Thank you very much, everybody, for coming once
Thank
again.
you.
It meant a lot to us all. We love you all. We certainly will be doing one in March and April as well. We'll be doing more in the spring. Please remember, more coming in the spring your way. Love you all once again. Thanks again for coming.
Thank you. Thanks, you guys.
Yeah, well, probably gonna beat myself up.